Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Zul. Welcome to the very first episode of Anyone But United. On my right, I have Izam, and on my left, I have Efra.
Games made me do it.
So before we continue, let's have a quick introduction. I'm a Man United fan, and I'm doing this because these guys wanted to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, all of us are Man United fans, and the reason why we call it Anyone But United is because of all the hatred that our club gets.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so Anyone But United first episode, kick-starting the Premier League that started last week.
Yeah.
United didn't play, but
Yeah.
they're playing this weekend. And our first match is against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So what kind of expectations do you guys have for this upcoming week?
I didn't get to watch Palace play. I didn't watch the highlights, but a home win against Southampton, they looked alright, I guess.
I watched the game. Southampton was in tatters actually. I mean, like defensively and in the midfield there was no cohesion. But in the game itself, Palace was really good going forward, especially Zaha, Townsend, and their new player. What's his name? Easy.
The guy who scored.
Easy. No, the guy who scored was Zaha. Their new signing, Easy, was really good as well.
Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright,
So I feel with United being home, I think it's going to be a home win for me. I feel.
Alright, so let's get a match prediction. If it's a home win, what's the scoreline?
I don't think it will be like a rout, but probably 2-0. I think United will keep a clean sheet. I think.
Yeah, it's difficult to say because I think it'll be a United win. The reason why I say it's difficult to predict scoreline is because we've got a really good team moving forward. I do think we're vulnerable at the back, but at the same time, to say that we won't be scoring a lot of goals when we've probably been one of the teams that scored a lot after the restart.
After the restart.
So I don't know. I'd go for maybe a 3-1. I'd say 3-1. Yeah.
2-0. I'm gonna go for a 2-1. I'm gonna say Palace will score first.
We're going to chase back.
Blasphemy.
United's gonna. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
you know how, I don't know, it's the first game of the season. We haven't bought a defender, which we'll get to. But possible lineups.
Okay, I think VDB will start. I
Okay.
think Donny will start. I see him starting with Bruno. Here's the thing. I don't feel that Donny goes straight into the number 10 spot. I think Bruno, on the back of last season, deserves that spot. Whether or not he will line up alongside Pogba to play defensively, I think it's also. I don't think so. I think he's been brought in to support Bruno, and what maybe Ole is probably expecting Pogba to do is to be more disciplined, like he does for France when he plays for France in that role, especially during the World Cup. That's probably what he's going to be asking of Paul Pogba, which allows Van de Beek to move forward to support Bruno.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel the lineup, the front three will always be our three-pronged trident, which is Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood.
Yep.
So the thing is, in the midfield, we will be playing without DM. If we are playing Bruno Fernandes, Donny van de Beek, and Pogba.
Not a natural year.
Sorry? Yeah, not a natural DM. So like Izam said, that it's probably Pogba's job now to play further back. Yeah. Not say a DM, but probably a CM of some sort.
Yeah.
But with defensive how do you say responsibilities, and let Donny and Bruno go roam up front and provide our trident attack.
Yeah.
I think one thing that people underestimate about Bruno is the amount of work he does off the ball.
Yeah.
If you see how he harries and presses the opposition, I think Ole is probably going to expect the same from Donny van de Beek. So he brings this energy to the side, as well as some technical finesse.
Yeah.
So all three are accomplished midfielders. So you have maybe these two, Donny van de Beek and Bruno pressing while Paul Pogba is then going to intercept. I mean, I think, especially with Michael Carrick as the assistant coach, he's probably going to be coaching these guys or looking after these guys and telling them the kind of movement off the ball that's being expected and maybe to intercept or to read the game, just like how Michael Carrick is.
Yeah, but then Pogba needs to step up because it's a different job that he's going to
Yes.
do
Yes.
this time around.
Yeah.
Unless that United will get new players in the DM area. But also I'm thinking about United's defense because it's been very shaky. Maguire needs another better pairing. I think Victor Lindelof is pretty
It's on and
okay.
off.
Yeah, it's on and off.
Fortunate.
Yeah,
It's on and off.
like United as well. On and off. So left back, I feel it's alright. With Shaw, Williams, and Mengi, right? Coming up as well. On the right, Bisaka, even though his output going forward is to be desired, but his defense work is always been after the last two seasons, even in FPL, his points are
He is
showing that
pretty
he's a pretty decent right back. So I think United needs to go to the transfer market and get someone. I mean, like in the centre back position, the spine is important. Once you have a good spine from the back to the middle and to the front, a good spine will make a good team.
Okay, since we're talking about transfer market, would you want Sancho to come in or someone like Koulibaly?
I would actually get Koulibaly first. But then if we get Koulibaly, we'll be without a right wing for 8 seasons.
Yeah.
Like a proper right
Proper
winger.
right way.
Yeah.
I feel like the only promise of trying to help the under 23s get some minutes in the first team, first in the Premier League team. I think like given the chance, I would actually go for Sancho. I'd prefer to have an attacking winger brought in and give youngsters a chance to shine. Much like how Gary Neville, the Neville brothers came in.
So a couple of days ago, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Teden Mengi actually got promoted to
Yeah, he
the
did.
first team squad. So is this a sign of things to come? Do you think that he will be in the mix, or is that just to pad up the numbers? I think I saw a statistic. We have 9 senior centre backs right now.
I mean, he's accomplished captain of the reserve squad, so hopefully that's gonna try and help push his name forward, or see. Well, I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. I have a feeling. I'm not sure if he's gonna start. He'll probably play like towards the end of the second half, or see how it goes. I mean, if United score early, they get pretty confident. They're fast ball run. I guess Ole was okay. Let's get some young bloods, some minutes, and see how it goes.
It's good to see that United, under Ole, that we get these youngsters coming in. I mean, like Gardner also won awards as well recently, right? So, Ole is setting up for. I know that we all want it to be this season to be our season kind of thing, but Ole is already putting in the stones in place for the upcoming future. You see, City, you can see their teams are aging. Liverpool, currently on the up,
Yeah.
but they're aging as well.
Yep.
The teams that I see that would be like in the future will be like Chelsea and Arsenal because they have like the youngsters coming in as well, right? So United, I can see in the next 3 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me put it to you this way. A lot of criticism about our backline. Maybe they don't have the kind of chemistry like Rio and Vida, that understanding. I don't know if this is something that they're looking at to build on. That's why they didn't prioritize the centre back. But what do you think it is about Harry Maguire, or like where does he lack that they need to get another centre back to pair up with?
He likes speed.
Okay, turns like an iceberg.
Because he's solid, but he needs someone who can do the runs for him. Like if he's trying to cover somewhere, he needs someone who runs at the back or comes to help him and he moves somewhere either. Or I mean he's, should I say he's more like a traditional last man?
Like a Pallister?
Yeah, he's playing that role. If he had someone that he could rely on.
I mean, like for centre back pairings, it's always better to have like someone with a different attributes and another one. If you have both the same like you said, the last man and then last man, so it won't really that gel. It won't really gel, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, I would like it if we could get 2 Yap Stams,
Oh really?
but
But then again, if you get 2 Yap stamps, we lack a ball playing centre back.
Yeah.
Because when you have
Rio.
Vidic and Rio, right? So Rio was the ball playing centre back. I feel that Maguire is a ball playing centre back. So he needs someone who's more physical and faster. Kind of like what we wanted with Bailly, right?
Yes.
But the problem is Bailly keeps
on
on
getting injured.
getting injured and everything.
So injured.
Yeah.
So okay. Transfer stories we touched on. Jadon Sancho. Okay, the Premier League has started. Still no news. We keep on reading that it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Do you think it's really not going to happen?
I feel that I think we've discussed this like outside the actual video, that I feel that Sancho will have that effect that like Maguire, when we wanted to get Maguire and it didn't happen. Then the next season we did get Maguire on an inflated price. I'm scared that United will have this problem as well, that they're not going to let go Sancho this season, but we might get him next season.
It's gonna be scary.
Well, I want the deal to happen this season.
I do too.
And I think it will happen. I'm going to put my neck out on a limb.
Okay.
Are you going to color hair?
No,
Okay.
it's not that. No, it's not NJ portions of betting, but I think I will put my neck on the line and say the deal will happen on Dortmund's terms. It will happen, but on Dortmund's terms.
So
They're not-
120.
120 or no deal. It's that. It's 108 million pounds for those of you in the UK, and everyone else can probably work out 120 million euros in their own respective.
I would just say, yeah, pay it. I mean, in the news it says 80 million. United willing to put up 80 million plus all these other things that come up
Installment
that will
of,
eventually add up to the value that Dortmund want, but Dortmund don't want that. They just want the 100
Actually, according to there's 2 ITKs that I follow. These guys have been bang on right about everything in the transfer market.
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
Alright.
Right? So, the other day, and these 2 unrelated ITKs, one of them, very early on, actually outlined the terms, and it was supposed to be 60 million down upfront, and then another 60 structured, guaranteed. And apparently this was accepted. Now, what happened next was somebody in the boardroom decided not to go for the deal and wanted to bring the price down. So they asked Ed Woodward to go over and say, you know what, let's move the goalposts and figure out how we can do this deal cheaper. And that's why Dortmund said, you know what, 108 million pounds or nothing. So yeah. So this guy said that was the structure of the deal. This other guy said that Woodward had to go back and to wheel and deal, which is why they didn't accept it, which is why the saga has dragged on. I don't know if any of this is true, but being a long-suffering United fan,
Yeah, but it's good
we
if
need
it
something
goes
to hang
through.
on.
But the problem is, we will be spending like 108 million pounds, right? Then I think they'll be the staff will be focusing on getting the deal over the line by what next week? Next week is the
We've got like
deadline, right?
less
October 5th.
couple more,
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So if we get this transfer done over the line by the end of the transfer deadline, right? So we won't be getting any more players.
Like we're just getting that one.
Yeah.
I do think Fabrizio Romano did mention I think over the last 24 hours it was either Fabrizio or one of the other guys. He mentioned that Porto left back is now one of our
On the radar.
options. Yeah. Well, he's always been on the radar. His agents actually came to England. I think about 10 days ago, 2 weeks
And
ago.
then it's left back.
Yeah, so this is supposedly the Regulan deal that fell through.
Fell through.
And this other fellow was already on the radar. Just to talk about some of the other targets that have been mentioned. So there's the defender from Monaco.
Yeah.
He's also a young player. I think he's 19. United didn't want to prioritize that deal and felt that maybe another season of first team football would probably be better for him, according to some of these ITKs, which is one of the reasons why we didn't go for it. Gabriel, who's now playing in Arsenal, was never really in the mix if the United boardroom was believed. I think he's a good player. I think he's decent. He's had one good game, very good game for Arsenal. But I think we need to see more of him playing in England to see, against some of the bigger teams. So I think 2 weeks from now, when Arsenal play Liverpool, will probably be the better test for him.
Oh,
Yeah. So going back to our transfer targets, if we were to get a centre back, once Sancho is done, I think that would be the ideal thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of other players after Sancho, I don't necessarily think that any of these deals will happen unless we can sell Smalling, Phil Jones. Once those guys get moved on, then maybe.
forgot about those guys.
Yeah, a lot of us have.
I don't know whether they're gonna have any minutes even if they stay. But eventually
Okay, out
they
of
will.
the three, if you were to only pick one to stay, who would it be?
Smalling.
Yeah. Smalling.
Smaldini?
Yeah.
Smalling has always been. I mean, I've got some love for that guy. I really actually wanted him to stay last season. I thought Jones would have been, loaned down.
Yeah.
I think he can actually play with Maguire. Like England centre backs. I think that's something that. I mean, he had a pretty good season in Roma.
Yeah.
So,
But then again, it's Syria.
Yeah. Yeah. Jovino looks like Ronaldinho over there. Okay.
Yeah.
he scored goals. He was a really good player. So
No, I rate Smalling as well. I just don't think that he's the answer for us.
he's not.
And it's not that I don't rate him or anything like that, but he wants to move. I think it'd be good for him if he moves. If his head and his heart isn't in it, I don't think they should be staying.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, I would like Rojo to stay.
I'm also a fan of Rojo.
Yeah.
I would like to see him stay as well. I think he's got a lot to offer. He was playing very well. I think it was the end of 2 seasons ago when he was injury free and was getting more minutes. He looked pretty decent. Again, I think like with most players, the more minutes you get,
confidence.
Yeah.
build your confidence.
For me, it's just because the guy's batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I like him because he's an animal. He's a
Yeah.
maniac, and you've got Gareth Bale now going back to Tottenham.
Yeah.
You've got Thiago. They're like, if Mourinho was still back at the club, right?
Yeah.
And his supposed gods of football, I wouldn't be surprised if Rojo would be the guy that's sent out there to be the reducer.
Yeah.
So, do you remember when Phenomenal Ronaldo had that injury C rating in
Yeah.
Pro Evo winning 11?
Uh-huh.
As if you didn't just, go out and take him out in the video game.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not saying that this should happen in real life, okay? I'm not condoning violence of any sort. But we're talking about tactical, a tactical thing in a video game,
Yeah.
right? And I know people, the minute they see these players with injury C ratings, just get their Roy Keanes, the John Terrys, whoever,
Yeah.
the guy with the best technical ability, run right through.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the talisman. Gareth Bale. Going back to Gareth Bale, he's actually being fast tracked on a training program to get his injury. Sorry, not his injury.
Medicals.
His fitness levels up.
Yeah.
Is it a done deal?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
He's on the same plane as Regulin, the guy from Real
Madrid?
Yeah, who played at Sevilla on loan.
And he's also confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think if you put Rojo and Gareth Bale there, if he can catch Bale, which is very unlikely, he would probably tag him, and boom, I don't know what would happen next.
Fumble.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Bale is heading to Spurs, is it confirmed that Dele Alli is moving to Madrid?
Oh, that one I haven't been keeping tabs on. I haven't heard anything. I don't think.
I think that was a separate deal.
Yeah.
So it's not really
Not
Bale
part of the
coming.
transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently the one that's pushing this, I don't know if this is true or not, but like you hear all the chatter about Daniel Levy pushing for the deal
Yeah.
to get Gareth Bale back. I think for Jose, it opens up his options attacking wise.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The onus on bringing another forward then is gone. Because before this, there was some talk that Ings
They were eyeing
was,
Ings, yeah.
was a target.
But I think Bale is kind of like what Jose likes. I mean, like with the Robins, with his winger, that one winger. I think like who is it in Inter? Is the one?
Perisic.
Yeah, Perisic as well. So he likes that kind of winger. So like Bale coming in, I know he's aged, but I think that it fits Mourinho's style of play.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so we're gonna cut the transfer saga stories and move on to FPL. So if you're not familiar with FPL, it means Fantasy Premier League. And why we talk about the FPL? Because we're not crazy about it.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
Yes, okay.
some people would say that we are.
Okay, so very quick background on Efra. Efra was the had the number one spot in Brunei 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And he's been in the top 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100,000.
Yeah. I think,
My highest was 900 in the world.
900th in the world.
yeah, top
Okay.
1,000.
Yeah.
Top 1,000. And how did you guys fare in the first week?
So far, I got 80 points.
80 points?
Yeah. So I was actually satisfied, except for Son. I was expecting Spurs to have at least a decent result, but no.
Okay.
So I've managed to rack up 84 points in the first week. My best finish was, I think, outside inside the top 50,000 last season.
Okay.
And then before that, it's just kind of been everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think for me, this last week was an eye opener. I think everybody was kind of worried about how they would do it, how they navigate some of the blanks. But all in all, the rankings right now, no matter how you did in the last week, I think it should just be treated as a game week rank. It's not indicative of how your season is going to go.
Yep.
It's just the first round of matches. I know some people are freaking out and thinking about playing wildcards and things like that. I think.
I feel like I said this. I usually say this every time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I mean, like sometimes when people see that they're doing really bad for the first 4-5 game weeks, but I mean, like there's like 38 game weeks that you can actually chase back.
Yeah, right. Which is why I told these guys that I'm naming the first episode Curse of the Salah Captain. Mainly because, right, coming up to week 1, we were all like, oh, who are going to be this captain?
Yeah.
We all have Salah in our teams, and I'm the only guy
Who didn't
captain
Salah?
Salah. But I actually scored pretty decent points. I got 74. I'm in the top half of most of the private leagues that I'm in.
Yeah.
And everyone that I realized was number 1 or 2 had Salah as captain, and I didn't. And the winners for me was James from Chelsea, Mitchell from Palace. Yeah. He was on my bench. I mean, he scored 6 points. Mainly because of the clean sheet, but had I put him on, I would have been level with either one of them. At least. So, coming into week 2, some injuries, some worries. Tebow is not 100%.
Yeah. A dead leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's just mind games from Frank.
Yeah.
To be honest,
He might
I
be
think,
playing.
He's playing Liverpool.
He's playing Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cracking weekend.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see how the new signings from Chelsea are going to adapt to the Premier League. I mean, Timo didn't score in the opener.
Yeah.
So I do hope he scores.
Because you have him on your team.
I do. I'm not
Me too.
going to
Me too.
trade him.
Me too.
Havertz, we've seen sparks from him in the first game. Haven't really. Even he's admitted that it's a totally different ball game from the Bundesliga. So there you go. I mean,
Ziyech?
he mentioned it in his in one of the
Because I don't think Ziyech played in the first game, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
or maybe he's watched it and he said like, okay. And
I
this,
think he was carrying an injury though from the end of last season. Just touching on this the big one this weekend, the Chelsea against Liverpool. I do think that Frank Lampard is going to keep his cards close to his chest. At the same time, he'll probably pick the pragmatic route and pick whoever's fit rather than gamble. It's really early on in the season. I don't think there's any reason why he should gamble. He go into this matchup quite confident. They are playing Liverpool, playing champions, but this is in London, isn't it?
it's in London. Chelsea home.
Having said that, I do think that Liverpool will win.
Even with the last week's scoreline of 4-3, I mean, Leeds almost got away with a point.
Yeah, you can say that, but at the same time, if you looked at I think the best indication for that, is if you look at the coach's reaction, because the coach will know whether or not he should be upset or whether he should be patting his players on the back, and he wasn't happy with the defending. So, having said that, I think that Liverpool are going to be in good shape, especially after signing Thiago, which that's a classic player right there.
20 mil for a Champions League winner.
I think the problem is he had already made his mind up quite a while ago.
He wanted to move.
I think even before the Champions League got back underway, I think he had a talk with Klopp, and he was already looking forward to a new challenge. And when they said that United were in for Thiago, I think every team in the world is in for Thiago if they have a chance of signing him.
Exactly.
You know, so. I think United did get in touch with his representatives to find out whether or not there would be a chance, and the only chance that United had would be if this deal didn't go through. So you could say that maybe United were brought in by Bayern to maybe get Liverpool to speed up, to be more decisive. At the same time, I think Gini Wijnaldum is a transfer target for Ronald Koeman in Barcelona.
Yeah.
So if he managed to get his wish and signed Gini, I'm pretty sure Thiago would have gone anyway. Apparently, one thing that interested me was Ryan Brewster. Ryan Brewster apparently is being sold to Sheffield United.
I think it's low.
Well, I heard they wanted it to be a loan. What's
Maybe
happening
loan.
is they've agreed terms with Ryan Brewster. I know a lot of Liverpool fans, some of my friends, they're not happy. If he's being sold out, sold on, if he's being loaned out, they're sort of taking it begrudgingly because this deal is apparently financing the Thiago purchase.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I think for Liverpool, signing of Thiago really brings in a player that sort of the other pieces fall into place, you know, for Liverpool. It wasn't an area they needed to strengthen in anyway, but the fact of the matter is if you're going to stand still, the only way forward is actually backwards.
Yeah.
So, Ed Woodward, I hope you're paying attention to all the fans, you know. Joel Glazer, please sell the club. Back to the FPL, who's going to be your captain pick this week?
Oh, it's very difficult. But I think I'm gonna go with Aubameyang. Oh wait, Auba. Is he playing?
Oba, yeah.
I haven't checked.
Oba will play.
I guess it's him or Son.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a good choice.
How about you?
I'm going Oba this week.
Yeah.
If I was a gambling man, maybe James Rodriguez, punt on him. He was very lively in the Everton match.
Yeah. Created 5 chances.
Yes, yeah, and you know he had a few good shots on goal. I think it's ring rust. He hasn't been playing a lot. You know, like you said earlier, you know, once players get minutes under the belts, you know, they kind of tighten things up a bit, pull up the socks, and I do think he's going to rack in some points.
I'm also thinking about captaining Aubameyang as well. But I have this certain curses as well, like you with Salah, me with Vardy, and also Aubameyang as well.
Yeah.
So when I captain Aubameyang, he doesn't really score.
Okay, I'm not gonna captain him.
So I might destroy you guys. Captaincy
So
choices.
this is one to watch. Whether or not Oba will blank. If he does, it could be because Efra.
It's like him and Vardy as well.
Yeah.
Efra and Vardy, they don't mix well. I mean, I remember distinctly a couple of games last season where I captained Salah and he didn't play or he didn't score, not even an assist. So that's hence why it's called the Salah Captain. Curse of the Salah Captain.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think the thing about Oba for me is the same. I think he's a great player. FPL wise, I don't know if he's the right player for me. I'm actually thinking of transferring him out after this week. I'm going to be bringing in Anthony Martial. Tony's had a wonderful season, 20-something goals, X amount of assists, you know. And recently for France, he was very decisive. He earned them a penalty, and he also scored a goal.
And he's a striker
later.
in the FPL,
And
Compared to-
I'm expecting 20 goals from him. It'd be nice to see a United striker back in the race for
Yeah.
Golden Boot. This could be the year.
I mean, Greenwood, when the FPL was announced, he was what, 7.5
Yeah.
compared to 4.5
Yeah,
last
last
season.
season.
That's just how highly rated this youngster is. So it's gonna be an exciting game to watch. It's just we can see how the United players fare. I mean, yes, they did play a friendly last week. They didn't win, and
Yeah.
it's fine. It's
It's
okay.
fine. Yeah.
You know, I guess Ole was just trying some things out to see how the players react. But some highlights of Donny,
Yeah,
with his,
Donny.
back heels and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Wow.
Rashford as well. He was playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rashi was lively. What do you guys think is going to happen if we don't get Jadon Sancho?
Move on. We just, I guess, move
How
on.
does the team set up? How does United
I mean, like we're really lacking depth on the right. I mean, like we still have James, but then again,
It's not a natural.
I mean, like you can play Igalo in the middle as a striker. Then you can play Martial on the left, right? If Rashford is out, then vice versa, right? But the problem is on the right side. So you get James, and then if James is injured as well, who's gonna be playing? I mean, like you're gonna be playing Lingard. you know?
Hannibal.
Yeah.
I think Hannibal Mejri should get a
If,
run in.
yeah, I mean like Hannibal, but then again, like I said, youngsters need time, right? So if he's like as magical as Greenwood, I'll be impressed.
I think
yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
He had what was it, 2 goals and an assist?
He did.
An
Yeah.
assist and a assist.
Yeah.
I mean, if you remember when Ferguson put on Beckham, Nicky Bond,
Yeah.
Scholes,
That's what he do.
William Prunier.
yeah. Luke Chadwick, all these all these youngsters. Okay, yeah, there was a period of time when I guess it's not the same as it was. Like you see a player and you see, okay, this kid's got something. But now, because I think there's social media, you see a kid playing, skillfully and say, "Oh, this kid's got it."
Yeah.
It's just, but whether they have what it takes,
Yeah.
it's gonna be different. But then that's not FPL stories though. But apart from captainings, are you guys gonna make any transfers after week 1?
I wanted to. I was thinking of maybe rearranging some of the defensive assets that I have. I actually wanted James in the first week, but I figured that I'd tweak the team around to fit Rodriguez from Everton. So in the end, what I did was I went for Justin, who did well too.
Yeah. I got Justin as well.
And that freed up just enough money for me to offload Danny Ings, and I brought in Callum Wilson, and brought in Rodriguez with the money I left over after a bit of tinkering. I do think James will be a mainstay for Chelsea. He gets up quite well, he offers a threat and consistency at the back. From what I understand.
And he can score goals.
Yeah.
But Aspi wasn't playing, right?
No, he wasn't. I'm not sure what the story of that is, but one of my friends said that he's probably going to occupy that slot if they play with a 5.
Okay.
So-
So 3 at the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. For me, I feel that I'm going to do some transfers, but not this week. I think we still have another 48 hours, I guess.
Mhm.
48 hours.
It depends on
Yeah.
the transfers as well.
Yeah. So my thoughts are that I'll be offloading some players because I want to bring in some City assets. So I'm always Liverpool and City. I mean, like the premiums that I usually get. So it will be KDB and Salah kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Alba will probably be going on after this week. And I'm also eyeing some watch lists on Everton because I see Everton. They always disappoint me every last 2 seasons because on paper their teams are always that good on paper. I mean like
Good on
Richarlison,
paper, but-
Sigurdsson. I mean like Digne. I mean like on paper it's good, but they never produce. But somehow I feel this is the season that start to be that like top like what Leicester was last season.
Ancelotti imagine.
Yeah.
Ancelotti doing something like that.
I think now that you mentioned that, who's on the watch list and stuff like that, aside from Anthony Martial that I mentioned that I won't bring in, I was thinking about KDB or Sterling as well. So it really depends on how things go this coming week. I know a lot of people are saying KDB is the one to go after, but if KDB does well, and I do think that Sterling is going to be another player that benefits from it.
Okay, but yeah, City actually announced the transfer of Ferran Torres, who's actually a very good winger as well. And I'm actually a fan, and I think he's a potential starter. Obviously, he's not going to start straight away, but I think over the season he's a player to watch as well. I'm not sure how much he's going to cost in the FPL, but another Everton player that I almost got in week 1 was the guy who scored,
Okay.
Calvert.
Yeah.
Oh,
CCL.
Yeah, I mean he's the end of last season he actually scored some goals.
Yeah.
He's a pretty decent player as well. So he's someone that's on my watch list. I won't be making any transfers this week. I'm gonna wait until the end of week 2 and I have 2 transfers. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anyone in our pool of friends actually used the wild card after week 1.
Yeah.
I mean the lowest score was what, 50?
I'm not too sure actually. I haven't been paying
I mean,
attention.
nothing to be ashamed of. I think I scored below the average score a couple of times last season.
Yeah.
But
It's like a marathon.
Yeah.
I mean like it doesn't matter, right?
hit and miss.
Yeah, hit
Yeah.
and miss.
I do one thing though. I want to say that will probably ring true for the rest of the season. Is that if you have any blanks and you wanna keep your players who aren't playing, maybe rethink that and see whether you can navigate it in a different manner, because I know a lot of people that got burnt by not having strongest and maximum amount of players for this game week. Some players who they thought, I'll get these assets who will be playing later on, and I'll put them on the bench. And then turns out that the players that they thought would be starting didn't. And they got hit really bad. I think it's also important for the rest of the season to keep an eye on your team value so you can make the lateral moves. But otherwise, you can just go with your heart, but maybe
Go with your gut.
All United. United fan, I'm gonna have United players on my. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't
I
work
think
like that.
that was
FPL
me
doesn't
3
work like
seasons
that.
ago.
Yeah.
I said I will never have a Liverpool player in my fantasy team. Everyone was scoring points because Liverpool was, they were doing very well. So I broke that promise, and I've had the two players on my team since. But okay, before we go, we end this. If you could recommend one Instagram account or one Twitter account for people who would either catch up with fantasy Premier League news or suggestions, who would you recommend? Like, do you guys follow any one Instagram?
The one that I like, which I keep an eye on, is actually FPL Status.
That's on Twitter or
That's on Twitter, sorry. FPL Status on Twitter. So this is a shout out to those guys. Do a fantastic job with who's getting injured, who actually scored the goal, who got the assist and things like that, whether players are available this week or not available. So they they help me maybe with some of the smaller things because you might have missed press conferences and you don't know whether a player is fit or actually injured, and this might completely throw you off, catch you off guard. So these guys I feel are good to follow.
Okay. FPL status on Twitter.
Well, actually, I have a lot to say. I mean, like, I
Maybe
follow
just
a
one
lot.
this week and another one next week.
So
One
I
every
think what's good is to actually go on Reddit and you go to
Reddit?
Yeah. You go to
It's a very deep rabbit hole.
wait. I forgot. Need to check it to make sure if it's the correct one. It's Fantasy PL. So Reddit, subreddit Fantasy PL. So
Check if this FPL status is right.
so it's a place where people discuss and rate your team as well. And also over there, the famous people like Ben Trellin and everything. I mean, like they talk about the other links to other FPL social media accounts as well that can help with for beginners and also if you wanna actually make a spreadsheet. So that's a good place to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
FPL status.
Yeah.
Gotcha, fam.
FPL status. Okay. I personally don't have any. I rely on these guys, but I follow the news. I'm always checking goal.com. I'm on Twitter.
That's important as well.
I follow hashtags.
Yeah.
I follow I don't really follow specifics, but I kind of like read through the news and stuff like that.
Soon, bro. You'll be like us.
Okay, I guess we're not really sure how often we're gonna do this. We'll try to do this on a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. Once again, my name is Zul.
This is Izam. Thanks for having us.
Efra, Gaze made me do it.